Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. His Excellency Ambassador Ivan, Ambassador Steer, UNDP country directors, other representative of international organization, Honorable Deputy Minister, Pak Heru, and other government colleagues, distinguished participants of business and industries, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Allow me to first quote the President's statement about Indonesia Green Economic Mantra, which is pro-growth, pro-job, pro-poor, and pro-environment. This four-track strategy mantra needs strong partnership with the business and industry, and that is why it is also a pro-business strategy. The President yesterday further admitted that, and I quote, "It's a lot of balls to juggle with, and it's a necessary challenge, but it's a necessary challenge." Yesterday afternoon, some of you were caught by surprise with the word balls in that sentence, and it made into the Twitter message, if you don't know. This morning, I would like to elaborate on the balls aspect that the government needs to juggle. The first ball is our nature conservation commitment, especially our commitment to preserve the remaining 66 million hectares of primary forest. Please be advised that such huge area of forest with high biological diversity, almost 3 times the size of United Kingdom, that we will see a royal wedding this afternoon, require substantial efforts to maintain. We need more, many more forest rangers, maintenance budget, law enforcement activities, local green economic development to address the drivers of deforestation in our primary forest. These rich biodiversity areas serve at least 3 strategic functions, namely as the insurance of our ecological functions to support life, as the living space of our indigenous communities, and as our savings for future development of medicine, food products, handicraft, and ecotourism. The second ball is the facilitating growth of our economy. We, the government of Indonesia, are all geared to add infrastructures, facilitate new economic investment, and improve the connectivities of our archipelagic nation. Lands are needed for roads, highways, railways, electricity generations, plantations, rice fields, settlement, and industrial areas. Revisions of spatial plans, existing spatial plans, have to be completed sooner than later. President Yudhoyono yesterday again pledged more than 30 million hectares of degraded forest lands for economic expansion and for growth with equity. Detailed implementation planning needs to be discussed with all stakeholders, especially with captains of industry who will bring the economic development into reality. The third ball is in committing to reduce the greenhouse gases in our economic development activities. Impacts of greenhouse gases releases will need to be carefully considered in finalizing the revised spatial plans, in designing the economic programs. International supports can be mobilized for finding alternatives to land use change on these forests and peatlands. That will, of course, consequently reduce the amount of carbon release in the atmosphere. The fourth ball is the good governance ball, which is a set of policies and actions on anti-corruption, improving political processes, increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of central and local bureaucracy or administration, and better local community engagement. This ball has become one of the old issues in modern history of governance. But since politics is also the arts of spinning, twisting, and distorting the facts, analysis, and perceptions, there is almost no end to its excitements. We have set the long and midterm goals. We already secured a foundation of democratic governance. The task ahead of us is to shape the democratic structure and the processes that brings democracy in such a way that it will benefit the majority of people while protecting the basic rights of the minorities. We need to reform the election of the Bupati and governors so that it will stop the practice of putting the remaining forests as collateral for political debts. We can add more balls, such as the lack of accurate maps of forests, lack of coherent legal system, and thus create legal uncertainty, and so on and so forth. But rather than dwelling into the details of what most of you are aware of, or perhaps experiencing and benefiting from them, I would like to propose 2 questions for your next sessions. First, what are the requirements for business to join the bandwagon of green and transformative economy? What needs to change within the industry and other economic players? And what needs to be delivered by the government to facilitate transformation from pollutive and extractive economy to a green and equitable economy? My second question is, how can we improve cross-sector, cross-multi-stakeholders communication? Is this important, rather fancy conference once a year with a few of you complain not so cheap entrance ticket be sufficient? Or do we need other means of communication? Communication that can bring constructive feedbacks, that can encourage and enhance motivation to do better and to avoid the blaming game. To implement a grand scheme that builds of the government policies, international cooperation, market incentive, technological innovation, civil society participation, business and corporation involvement, and others, we need to communicate. Communication improvement is a must. To conclude, I'm confident we are moving in the right direction. We have almost passed the point of no return. Not there yet, soon. On the course of sustainable and low carbon economy, Indonesia is showing the leadership on climate change. We have contributed and will contribute further to make the global climate change regime a success. As government official that involved in Indonesia environmental policies for about 6 years, I'm proud to have been part of the journey to rescue the planet Earth and to increase the welfare savings of future generations. We, you and I, should all be bold and courageous and hold each other accountable to the commitments that we make. Both government and businesses are accountable to the Indonesian people to bring them jobs, better standards of living, and to preserve the vast natural resources as we in these big countries are blessed with. I thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.